Good afternoon. My name is Sophia Jackson. I am the Assistant Director for Pre-College Programs. Thank you for joining the online Firelands orientation for new College Credit Plus students planning to take classes in the fall semester 2025. I would like to take a moment to go over just some general information about College Credit Plus and what it means to be a student at BGSU Firelands. Uh, for those of you that may not know, College Credit Plus is Ohio's um, dual enrollment program that allows students that are in grades 7 through 12 to earn both college credit and high school credit simultaneously by taking classes at participating Ohio colleges or universities. The program aims to promote a rigorous academic environment and allows you to explore different options for college readiness. There are three options for College Credit Plus. The first option is dual enrollment, and that is where students take classes that are offered in person at their high school, and they also receive Bowling Green credit when they take those courses. The second option is by taking a course online, and it's 100% online, and it's offered through Canvas, which is your learning management system. And then the third option is to take classes here on our campus in person. And so that is certainly an option for you, and we're located here in Huron. So students participating in College Credit Plus, it means that you are a college student. And so all of you would have needed to sign a mature content questionnaire when you applied. And, when you are a CCP student, you might be exposed to some mature content and conversations that would be considered mature no matter what grade or age that you are. We have different expectations as a college student. You may experience more homework than what you had in high school, and you may not earn credit for some of that homework. You need to read your syllabus to determine exactly how the writing should be done and when deadlines and assignments are due. So certainly read your course syllabus very thoroughly at the beginning of the semester. Another difference is that, in particular, professors typically do not talk to parents. They will talk directly to students if the students reaches out to them, but professors typically do not speak with parents, which is a little different than what you experience as a high school student. I want to remind everyone that when you take College Credit Plus classes, you are beginning your official transcript, your official college transcript, and that transcript will follow you, throughout your life. So when you're applying for a job, for instance, and you have to submit transcripts, grades that you are earning on classes that you take through us will be on your official transcript. And then lastly, we want to let you know that Bowling Green State University does not provide support for Chromebooks. And so some students have expressed that they've experienced some issues with using Chromebooks for their online classes. So that's just something to consider, is that we do not provide support for Chromebooks. Some of the types of courses that you can take as a CCP student, when you are brand new, starting out, you can only take level 1 courses. These are courses that are considered introductory. They are your general education courses that allow you to begin your college career with us. These courses are the courses that most college students would take. So you have to start off taking just level 1 courses, and after you've completed 15 credit hours, which is basically about 5 classes, then you can move on to level 2 courses. There are a lot of level 1 courses that are available to CCP students. And then one of the things you want to be mindful of is communicating with your high school counselor to make sure that courses that you are taking will also satisfy a high school requirement. So, for instance, on the screen, you see that we have Introduction to Food Nutrition. That's Food Nutrition 2070 and 2080. For some high schools, they accept this course to meet their high school science requirements. So that's an example where you need to communicate with your school counselor to ensure that a course that you are taking will satisfy or will not satisfy a high school requirement. That's very important. We do have online classes, and we also have on-campus CCP classes here in at the Huron location. BGSU recommends that students start with the first writing class, which is WRIT 1110, and we also have 1120. So no matter where you start, we recommend that you start with 1110 before taking 1120 because the combination of both of those classes will satisfy your English composition, and it helps you just to be um, more successful in your writing endeavors. There is a course called University Studies. It's a 1,000 level course, and that University Success course will help students to learn some of the basic skills that they need to be successful. It is designed for students in grades 7 through 9, although any student can take it, but it'll teach you learning styles, um, how to communicate with your instructors, things like that. And if you're interested in that course, you can certainly speak with your school counselor, not your school counselor, but your BG advisor to get enrolled in that course. And it is a 2 credit hour course. That's just a recommendation. There are many courses that you can consider as a first course. You could take Art 1010, or you could take Communications 1020, which is public speaking. So there's a variety of different courses that would be good first time courses for a CCP student. And some of our frequently asked questions, students often want to take a medical terminology course. And that course, you need to have taken 15 credit hours already or completed 15 credit hours before you'd be able to take that. And then anatomy and physiology is another popular course that students want, but there are courses that need to be taken before you'd be eligible. And one of those courses is taking the Biology 2050, and you also need to have completed 15 credit hours because those are considered level 2 classes. Some students want to take a higher level math course, and these courses are offered sometimes in the high school or here at Firelands. They're typically not offered online, but you can certainly speak with your BG advisor to determine whether or not testing is required and what you would need to do if you were interested in taking a higher level math course. And then lastly, just make sure that if you are taking courses through Bowling Green or Lorraine Community College or any other institution, that you are not doubling up on those courses. We would not want you to take the same course that may be called something different at Lorraine and also take it here with us. So just make sure that you are not taking the same course in both places. That kind of defeats the purpose. All right. How do things work? Well, as a brand new student, you will be issued a BG email and an ID number. And so all of you should have received by now your admission letter and should have set up your BG account, and that's called your My BGSU. This account, your BG email, will give you access to any of the courses for which you enroll in. Canvas is our learning management system. It is the way that you would access all of your online classes. And then already mentioned that you have a BG email. That is our primary source of communication. If you are interested in having a parent or someone be able to access your information, you would need to go into your student center and actually share your information, meaning you'd have to give them access. And then the last thing I want to mention is that textbooks and materials for your CCP classes are covered by your high school. So the cost of those textbooks would be covered by them. They would actually order the textbooks that you need. So you always want to communicate any enrollment for classes to your school counselor so that they can make sure that you get the resources that you need for your course. And so I believe high schools, if they have you actually purchasing those textbooks, they will reimburse you, but you need to speak with them. Typically, the high school covers the cost of all of your textbooks. Okay, I want to go over some important terms and conditions. You all would have received this when you were admitted, and we ask that you return it to us. It's a link that you would click on, and then you would send a signed copy of the terms and conditions of being a College Credit Plus student. And these are just statements that you understand certain statements here. The first would be you understand that you must submit the intent to participate form to your district before the required April 1st deadline. That's a very important step. So, hopefully, all of you have already done that because that intent to participate form allows your high school to have an idea of who's going to participate in this program. And you must that's the very first step to being accepted into the program. And so hopefully you've all taken care of that. It is your responsibility to confirm with your high school counselor that you are meeting your high school graduation requirements. And so that just means that you are going to communicate regularly with your school counselor throughout your time of participating in College Credit Plus to ensure that first and foremost you are meeting the graduation requirements. Next, you must consult with your college academic advisor and your school counselor prior to making any changes to your course schedule. So, if you decide to drop a class for which you are enrolled in with us, it is very important that you communicate and consult with your school counselor to make sure that there are not any negative consequences of your doing so. For instance, if you drop a class, does that impact your athletic eligibility? If you drop a class, is it a course that's needed for high school graduation? And so you want to certainly have those conversations before you actually drop a class. And if you're dropping a class that's online or in person, you would need to speak with your BG academic advisor in order to facilitate that request for you. The next statement says is that you must not exceed the maximum number of credit hours allowed per academic year under College Credit Plus. Exceeding this credit hour limit will result in a self-pay situation at full undergraduate tuition rates. Summer semester is the official beginning of the academic year, and high school classes count toward the credit hour total. So, for instance, if you are taking some courses with us, that's going to count towards your allowable 30 credit hours, as well as any high school courses that you are taking. And so you do not want to exceed 30 credit hours for the entire academic year. So that's summer, fall, and spring semesters. And if you fail a course or stop attending a course or withdraw from a course after the census date, it may be you may be held responsible to pay back any fees to your local school district, and that would include tuition fees, any textbooks charges, and that sort of thing. So um, students do have 14 days from the time that the course starts to kind of get a feel for the course, see if they want to stay in it. But if after that deadline, which we call a census date, if you decide to drop a course, you will receive a W on your transcript, and you could be charged, and most likely would be charged, for the cost of dropping that class. More terms and conditions. It is your responsibility to check your BG email on a daily basis. You are responsible for knowing what classes you are enrolled in, and you're responsible for the grades that you are earning. You're also responsible for knowing BGSU's academic dates and deadlines. And what we mean by that is that, for instance, this fall, we start classes on August 25th. Your high school may start either before that date or after that date. So the calendar for the college and the calendar for the high school may not be the same. And it is your responsibility now as a college student to follow the BGSU calendar in terms of knowing that your class is starting on the 25th and logging in or coming to campus, whichever the case may be. And then also staying on track with whenever your high school classes start. The second point here is that you are permitted to drop a CCP class before the academic census date. That's within that 14-day window. And we call that just a no penalty time frame. If you drop a class on or after that date, again, you'll be held financially responsible for the cost of the class. You will receive a W on your college transcript, which will also be on your high school transcript. And this could impact your eligibility for financial aid or, as an undergraduate student. It could also impact your athletic eligibility. And so the summer session, summer enrollment does not count toward athletic eligibility. So that's just something to keep in mind. You cannot enroll in classes over the summer um, to be considered for your athletic eligibility for participation in the fall or in the spring. So again, you want to have good communication with your school counselor throughout this process. Courses taken at BGSU are part of your college transcript, and grades earned will be reflected on within your BGSU GPA. The grades earned at BGSU will also be part of your official undergraduate record, regardless of any institution that you attend after high school. You understand that you are responsible for ordering transcripts and sending those transcripts to other colleges if you choose not to attend BGSU after you graduate high school. So once you get into your student center, you'll be able to see where you're able to order transcripts, and this won't happen typically until you're about to graduate high school, but you do want to know that you will be responsible for ordering your transcripts and sending them to whichever institution you so desire. You are subject to the state and the BGSU College Credit Plus probation and dismissal policy if you do not maintain good academic standing. And I'll go over that a little bit more in a moment. Another term and condition is that you understand that the subject matter of a course enrolled in under College Credit Plus, it may include some mature content or mature subject material, and it could have some graphic or explicit violence or even sexual nature, and that this content will not be modified based upon your participation, regardless of where the course is being taken. So, if the course is being taken online or on campus, it's not going to be modified based on the fact that you are still a high school student. Another terms and conditions, so just more of a summary. Um, our BG email is our official communication. So you should not email us from your high school email. If, in fact, you might want to forward your high school email to your BG email, or vice versa, so that you always get communication from us. And so whenever you're communicating with someone here at the university, please use your BG email. It is our official way that we will communicate with you. Not only use our email, but also read the emails that are sent to you by any representative from BGSU. I'm kind of reiterating here that BGSU is not responsible for ensuring that you are meeting your high school requirements. This is where the communication between yourself and your school counselor is really, really, really important. You should ensure that you are meeting your high school requirements first and foremost. You should ensure that you don't enroll in over 30 credit hours for the academic year, and that does include your high school classes. If you go above the 30 credit hours, you will be charged as self-pay, and that would be at the full undergraduate tuition rate. You should ensure that you are meeting athletic eligibility requirements. So again, communicating with your school counselor to make sure that you maintain your athletic eligibility and you are passing your classes. For the fall semester, the last date that you can drop a class without penalty is September 7th. September 7th. Again, we start classes on August 25th, and so you have 14 days in order to decide if you want to maintain your enrollment in the classes that begin on the 25th. So September 7th, must make that decision. If you decide to drop a class after this date, you will again be responsible for reimbursing your high school for the cost of any textbooks, the tuition, that sort of thing, and your high school will communicate that information to you. Again, your college transcript and your high school transcript, meaning the grades on your college transcript, will also be on your high school transcript. So those grades will match. And then the last thing I want to remind everyone is that Bowling Green does have a code of conduct, which would include academic honesty and that sort of thing. So you want to read your syllabus for each course that you have. Make sure that you understand what is expected in terms of use of AI or just how the course is going to be run. So certainly read your course syllabus. Okay, the probation and dismissal policy. As a College Credit Plus student, you must maintain a 2.0 GPA in order to have good academic standing. If your GPA falls below 2.0 in any given semester, you will be placed on what we call CCP probation. And what that means is that the next semester, you can only take one class. You will also be placed on probation if you withdraw from or you receive no credit in two or more courses within a semester. So it's not just failing a course that would place you on probation or just falling below the 2.0 minimum. It's also if you have frequent withdrawals or receive no credit in two or more courses. So when you are on probation, the next semester, you can only take one CCP class, and it cannot be in one of the subject areas for which you may have done poorly on the previous semester. And then if during the time of being on probation, your GPA does not rise above 2.0, then you would be dismissed that second semester, and then you would not be able to take any CCP classes. So, steps for success. We want to make sure that you understand that you are not alone as a BGSU student. In fact, you have almost all of the same resources available to you as any other undergraduate student here at BGSU Firelands. So, you have access to the Teaching and Learning Center, which is an area where you can get free tutoring and um, any kind of academic support with any of the courses that you're taking. That tutoring is available in person. It's also available online. And so that is the Teaching and Learning Center. For students that have accessibility services is available for students that may have an IEP or need us in a special accommodation. You are able to request those. In fact, as a CCP student, it is your responsibility to request it if that is something that you need. So you would need to initiate that, and you can access that by emailing or looking on the website at access@bgsu.edu, and they can help you to set up those accommodations. You also have access to your academic and career counseling advisors, and these are the same folks that you will meet with in order to schedule your CCP classes um, for the semester. And so they are able to help guide you to specific majors and that sort of thing to make sure that the classes that you're taking are general education requirements that any student would need as they begin their college career. You are also eligible to participate in any of the student activities that we have going on campus. You will receive or can receive your BGSU ID if you go to the computer lab, which is located on the second floor of the North building here on campus. You can actually get the physical BGSU ID, and there is no charge for that. That ID gives you access to all of the sporting events and whatnot. If you decide you want to go over to the Bowling Green campus, you can participate in just about anything that a regular undergraduate student has access to. And so that's a good resource. You are also able to access the computer lab that we have here on campus, and the phone number is there on the screen. If you have just any kind of technical issues, if you need to reset your password or can't remember how to log on, that sort of thing, we have tech support there to assist you, and the number is there for you as well. We also have a library, and it's a typical library with resources and books and things. If you want to check that out, that is on the second floor of Foundation Hall. And then, of course, we're always concerned about safety, and we do have the Erie County Sheriff here on campus to provide, the as to serve as our safety resource. And you can certainly speak with anyone if you have any concerns or any kind of issues that would arise. So, if you are taking courses that are just in your high school, those are the dual enrollment courses. Um, those courses, you get registered for those courses over the summer. So you'll want to make sure that your school counselor knows that you are interested in taking those courses, and they will add your name to a roster, will enroll you over the summer. You should pay attention and check your BG email, or at least look at your course schedule to see when you've been enrolled in one of those classes. And certainly, again, communicate with your school counselor about any classes that's offered in your high school, and they will help you to get enrolled in that. If you are taking any or interested in taking any online or in person classes here at Firelands, all you would need to do is call the number that's on your screen, 419-372-0886, to schedule an advising appointment. So that's very important. Some of you may have already scheduled classes after you signed up for this orientation, but if you have not scheduled classes and met with an advisor, please do so really, really soon. We don't want you to get uh, out. We don't want you to not be able to take the courses that you want, to get locked out of those courses. And when you are meeting with an advisor, you can only schedule classes for one semester at a time. So just to set expectations, you can schedule for fall classes now. And then again in October, you'll repeat the same process. You will not need to attend another orientation, but you will need to call that number October timeframe to schedule your spring classes, which will start in January if you are interested in doing so. Well, that is all I have for you, and I hope that this has been informative, and that if you have any questions about this orientation or the classes, you would just need to contact your BG advisor, and you may do so by calling 419-372-0886, and they will help you to get started with taking your classes. If you have not already set up your BG email, certainly want to find that admission letter that was sent to you and set up your BG email. There'll be instructions on how to schedule advising. And we certainly appreciate you taking time today to log in for this orientation. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the summer, and we look forward to seeing you back here in the fall. Thank you. Have a great day.